Hi everyone, what's up? Today we are actually going to have the last installment in the duality series. Oh, so sad. I know, it's been a long journey, about a week. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So today I'm going to talk to you about the last duality, Aries and Libra. I'm really happy to do these series for you guys. I really hope you enjoy it. I'm going to be talking first about Aries, then I'm going to be talking about Libra, then I'm going to be talking about how they connect together in spiritual love making. No. How they connect together as energies, and how if you have planets in Aries or if you have planets in Libra, how you can combine the two energies so that you can benefit the most from this axis. Okay? My hair is remarkably crazy tonight, but I'm just gonna leave it like that because, hey, Aries are wild, so I'm gonna channel that wild energy. Aries born people. They are people born in March, beginning from the 21st of March until 22nd or 23rd of April. They are people that bring the spring in. They are representatives of the first cry of the newborn. They are primal energy. They are life-giving force. They are instinct. They are life force. Imagine how it is to first come into the world and the doctor just picks you out of your mom from the cozy comforts of your womb and then slaps you on the butt. I'm not sure if doctors actually are allowed to do that nowadays. But anyway, it used to be practiced in the past, so that they awaken the baby or get the baby to react. That is Aries energy. Life. Violence. They are... Wow, I'm really channeling Aries energy. Okay, so I've got a Jupiter in Aries, so it's kind of like really bringing this out of me right now. They are the most charismatic sign of the zodiac, okay? So... Aries Sun, Aries Moons, Aries Ascendants. I see you. Yeah. You're out there charming every, Sorry, I was this close to naming people by their genitals, but you're out there charming every man and woman. I need to rein it in sometimes. And you're like just, breaking hearts left and right, and you don't care because Aries is about him or herself. The first thing you should know about this sign is that they are all about what they want, what they need, what they desire, what they want to see happen in the world. They are the individualist of the zodiac. They are represented by, astrologically, their symbol is a ram. So it's like this kind of goat. I don't know, I don't spend time in the countryside as much as I should have, but when I was little, I remember seeing some goats and rams and sheep. But no, they are genuinely that kind of sheep that has these gigantic horns that are rolled, and they just ram into things when they are doing their mating season. They just like to lock horns with other animals, okay? This is another quintessential aspect that you need to know about the Aryan personality. They are head-first individuals, okay? Do now, talk later. They are all action. They do first and think later, okay? Some of the world's greatest poets, philosophers, and playwriters, actors, artists are Aries. Let me think if I could name some. Van Gogh, for example, was an Aries. He completely revolutionized art. I keep thinking of Aries personalities. Max Ernst, for example, as well. He was a famous surrealist painter that completely revolutionized through his techniques. He had different techniques that he invented. In terms of politics, I don't want to actually bring this up, but Adolf Hitler was an Aries as well, so he completely revolutionized the world. But he's a good example of how Aries energy can be used for negative ways, okay? But I don't want to insist too much on this subject because I could speak a whole week about that subject. But right now, I just want you guys to get a hang of how the Aries energy feels like. So, fast forward individuals, fast thinkers, fast doers, action-prone people, people that love to have fun, people that love to laugh. You cannot win an Aries heart if you do not know how to crack a joke or how to make fun of a situation. They are individuals that are extremely sexual, but not in a dark kind of weird, I want to own you way like Scorpios would be, or in a philosophical, detached kind of way like Sagittarians would be, or like in a in a slutty kind of I want to please you way like Libras and Pisces would be. No, Aries are all about, I feel this need in my body and I want to express it through my body. Everything that they do is through their bodies. So you'll find a lot of great sportsmen, you find a lot of like great coaches that are Aries. Russell Crowe is another example of an inspiring Aries personality, but he's famously known for being really kind of tough as well. Michael Fassbender as well. He's also a really charismatic actor, but kind of difficult to handle as well. So it's all these like individuals that are they could be perceived as selfish, okay, by others, because they tend to just roll over other people's needs because they have such a great desire to express themselves and they are pioneers in everything that they do. So Aries are very much like, you know, those individuals that when everybody's thinking, what should we do? This situation is awful. They're just going like, I'm going to do it. I'm here. I'm tired of all this talk. I'm going to do it, for fuck's sake. Somebody has to do it. Somebody has to stand up. Somebody has to like take charge. And those are Aries for you. They are also in personal relationships. They are ridiculously loyal and ridiculously nostalgic and romantic. So for example, that's why they are loved in spite of their aggressive kind of bull in a china shop kind of behavior most of the time. They are those kind of people that once they commit to something, once they decide this is my job, this is my person, this is what I want to see happen, this is the way I want my family life to go forward, they just go at it without any restraints. Okay, so maybe another theme for Arian personalities and something that you guys, you know, should remember about them if you happen to love them, live with them, work with them, are fascinated by Aries personalities. No restraints, okay? They are just exactly what they think is what comes out of their mouth. They are exactly what they portray. There is no mask, there is no hidden depth, there is nothing. Much like Leos. Leos, for example, are very much like that. So it's like, we have a really great saying in my language, but I don't think I should reproduce it here, but it's like exactly what they are thinking is exactly what's coming out of their mouth, okay? So, very direct. They are those kind of individuals that are incredibly brave, incredibly courageous, okay? I fucking love this trait about Aries personalities. There is nothing, I have to say, that gets me weaker in the knees than a guy that just stands up and just says, yes, I want to do this. I want to be with you. I want to take this job. I want to, you know, no matter how hard things are, I just want to do it. So I absolutely admire this about Aries personalities. You know, I mean, I'm a Pisces with a Libra ascendant. Oh my God, do I spend time thinking about things and doubting them and rummaging over them. But like an Aries sun, by definition, or an Aries ascendant, is like, do first, think later. You know, it's like, I see it, I like it, I want it, I'm taking it, you know, veni vidi vici. So it's a really fantastic way to live your life. It's that stuff that great love stories are all about, that stuff that great biographies are all about, you know, how they settle forth into the Atlantic to discover it, or, you know, they crossed Antarctica with their bare hands fighting wolves with their knuckles. You know, that's an Aries lifestyle, okay? That's an Aries lifetime. This is why they go so well together with Sagittarians, because Sagittarians love this shit. They are all about, you know, forward. They're all about this energy, this optimism. So they make great buddies with Aries people. But Aries people sometimes lack practicality. So this is how they manage to ridiculously attract Virgos in their lifetimes. So I cannot actually even count how many couples, my hair is like really channeling this Aries energy. Anyway, So I can't even begin to count how many couples I have met in my lifetime that are Virgo and Aries, usually Virgo women and Aries men. And there's an knack to that, and I'll tell you why in a second. So it's almost like they are so fire driven. They are so driven by the need to express themselves, to be somebody, to be an individual, to be this fire that explodes into life, okay? That they need a PR manager. They need somebody to just calm them down. They need somebody to help them get over their frequent headaches, because they rule the head, so they're very much in their head, yeah? So they need somebody to take that shit off, to take the pressure off. And more likely than ever, they need beauty in their life. They need comfort. They need peace. They need aesthetics. They need something that just, boom, gets them here, right in the heart center, and just gets them to calm down for a minute, okay? So, most of them usually fall into relationships with Virgos, because Virgos, as we learned from the other video, are the sign of service. But I would personally say that an Aries perfect partner and perfect counterpart, perfect mirror, is a Libra. And here is where I'm going to talk about Libra. Libras are everything that Aries are not, okay? So I'm already like, I'm feeling it, I'm calming down, I'm centering myself, you know? Poise, equilibrium, balance, seeing both sides, yeah? Libra is the only object of the zodiac. We don't have any other objects in the zodiac. Libra is a scale with two balancing sides. Whatever you put on one side tends to equalize the other side. If a scale is in balance, the Libra is not happy. There used to be an Egyptian story about Maat and the goddess that would use a feather to weigh the soul and the value of the soul of a mortal's life. So each Egyptian that would die would come in front of Maat, and before they would cross the river into the underworld, they would have to just give something onto the scales, and then Maat would put a feather on the other scale and see if this balances out. So were their riches material or spiritual? And according to how well they passed this test, this is how their afterlife would actually be judged. Judgment. Libra is all about careful thinking, strategizing, planning. How do I look that can influence how other people see me, how other people love me, how other people react to me? Libras are all about communication. They are not at all instinctive as Aries. Whenever something happens to Libra, they take it in patiently, carefully, silently, or jovially, and then they spend time processing it and they prepare a comeback. But the comeback is so subtle. It's so beautiful. It's all about complimenting you that you don't even know, bam, that they have actually gotten you into paying them more money, or marrying them, or having their babies, or buying them that house that they always wanted, or agreeing with their political views and signing for their voting poll. They are fantastic at people skills, because they genuinely project this image that they love other people, because they genuinely feel like they are there for others. No matter what a Libra does, it is never about the self. So remember how Aries, I mentioned that Aries is all about the self, it's all about being an individual. Libra is all about you. What do you want? What do you need? How can I balance myself in relation to you? How can we adapt our needs? How can we reach a mutually pleasing compromise? Yeah? Libras are all about harmony. They hate arguments. They hate people who are loud. They hate people who are stupid. They hate people who are poorly dressed. It's not that necessarily that they hate people who are poor, but they just hate people that don't have any sense of how to beautify themselves or any care for their bodies. Libras really care about that because they understand that first impressions get you far in life, and usually first impressions are about the body. Okay, I'll talk in a second how this relates to Aries, because Aries is the quintessential sign of the body together with Capricorn. Libras are so much about other people. And how do you connect with other people? You connect with them through talking to them, okay? So they talk and 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 talk. If you're a person that loves silence, most earth signs do, or water signs, don't get into a relationship with Libra, please. Because you won't satisfy them, and you will be driven crazy by the fact that they love to talk. They love to exchange ideas. They love to go out. They love to keep things light. They love to shop. They love to try new gadgets. Oh my God, that's why they make such perfect partners. So Geminis, because they love everything that is new, everything that is, okay, I didn't think about doing it this way. This completely blew my mind, you know? So if you want to win a Libra's heart, it's all about blowing their mind first and then their bodies. They are a Venus-ruled sign, just like Taurus, but they are not earthy. They are not earthy Venus. They are air Venus, cardinal air. This is why they can be quite philosophical about life. They are the quintessential poets of the zodiac. So E.E. Cummings, one of my favorite poets, was a Libra. Selima Hill as well, a British UK poet that was also a gypsy traveler. Amazing. Was also a Libra. They are just amazing at loving words, loving people, loving conversations, loving what is new, loving ideas, loving education. They love education. They love what is fair, what is right. They love justice. They protect the underdogs. One of my favorite sociologists, who I've actually quoted extensively in my book, is Bell Hooks. She is an African-American sociologist, and she has been quintessential in a part of the equal rights movement in America, and she wrote a lot about gender studies, and she's just blissful. This woman is such a gift for mankind, and she's a Libra, and you can see it that her beauty shines through how she looks as well, because she's very cute, but also through what she writes. She writes about these fantastic ideals about being courageous and brave. Bravery. Here is where I should actually talk to you guys about how the axis connects with each other. So, I was just really lucky right now that I wanted to watch Killing Eve, but unfortunately I couldn't see it because I'm not in America at the moment. So I just stumbled upon this documentary on Netflix called Bringing Down the House, or Bringing Down the House, something like that. It's a documentary about 4 female politicians in America, and amongst them is Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who represents New York at the moment, I think, in presidential elections in America. I don't know, I'm from Europe, so sorry if I actually messed this up. But anyway, Alessandra is absolutely wonderful. And she is a Libra. I checked her birthday out because I was so curious. And she is quintessentially embodying the combination of Libra as a sun sign and the Aries polarity. The courage, the bravery, the will to stand up in front of people and say the motherfucking truth. Please watch the documentary. It made me cry because it gave me the hope that millennials are actually standing up and doing something that is contesting the establishment. Okay, so please go and watch it. I feel like I'm telling this to my students. But yeah, please go and watch it. It's absolutely amazing. Anyway, so a high-functioning Libra is brave. A high-functioning Libra speaks the truth. A high-functioning Libra knows how to please other people but does not give of herself or himself. A high-functioning Libra is not only a people pleaser, it's a people transformer. So you can love people, but loving people means as well setting strong boundaries. Loving people means teaching them how to discipline themselves, not allowing them everything, but figuring out that, hey, I am myself, you are you, I love you, I respect your individuality, I want to see you grow, I want to see myself grow. How do we reach a mutually pleasing compromise? How are we together but apart at the same time? How are we individuals but connected at the same time? These are the main preoccupations of the Aries-Libra axis, okay? So I really love them because not only do I have these placements in my chart and I'm an Aries North Node, it's a lot about this, not really power, because Taurus and Scorpio hold that dominion. It's about this being excited for life as a newborn baby, but also knowing what you've read from books, being book smart, you know, and combining these two things together. And when these two things are combined, intuition and drive and passion and instinct, together with being informed and beauty and the capacity to actually diplomatically put your point forward, wow, do you get a fantastic person. Wow, do you get a leader that you want to follow. You want to do everything for them, okay? You want to sell your house, you want to go to war, you want to worship them, you know. You get this amazing personality that has heart and mind at the same time, okay? I wanted to say something about the body as well. So Aries are so much about their bodies. Most of them are bodybuilders, or you will very rarely find, you know, a fat Aries man or woman. Not that I'm saying anything is wrong with being fat, but it's just because that they are so active. They are ridiculously active. Like they are these kind of people that sleep only 4 or 5 hours a night and they're fine. You know, they get up in the morning, they don't need coffee. They're like, yeah, bring it on. I am here to take on the world, you know. So they're very energetic. This is how they burn fat really quickly. And they just push on through to everything, obstacle after obstacle after obstacle. It's fun for them. It's like, bring it on. This is why in personal relationships, Aries are very hard in personal relationships because they don't like it when things are too easy. Okay, so this is really interesting, especially Aries men. They love to conquer. They love to just see you as this fortress that they could just climb over, but you have to have the wall raised first so that they can climb you. And Libra is the perfect counterpart to that, because it's almost like it's that fairy tale kind of romance where she's the beautiful princess locked in the tower that's reading and taking care of her inner world and dreaming and painting and, you know, all those things that women in medieval times were awarded for. And the Aries man usually is kind of like this conqueror that climbs the wall, you know, and just like Rapunzel, you know, climbs on her hair and, I don't know, gets her, conquers her, makes her fall in love with him. So they are very much this polarity of effort and receiving, of beauty, Venus, and action, Mars, yeah? So they're the quintessential feminine sign, the quintessential passive kind of thinking, poetic beauty that, you know, looks incredibly cute in glasses and spends time indoors thinking about everyone's opinion and where does she stand or he stands, you know. And then you've got the Aries polarity, which is all about being outdoors and being out in the mud and playing and having fun and not caring if you're dirty and like, who cares? The whole point is to have fun, is to experiment, to feel enthusiastic, to express your body, to, you know, to express your needs, to take in the world and to just really be in touch with nature and natural and everything that is about where you come from and your instinct and your source, your life-giving source, okay? So when these two energies come together, it's really a thing of beauty because you've got what in some videos has been called the divine feminine, and then you've got the divine masculine, okay? So it's like those quintessential love stories that we hear about, as I said, with the knight in shining armor that falls in love with the princess, or I don't know, the CEO kind of guy that falls in love with a single mom, or something really like a very nurturing kind of energy, an energy that doesn't push forward at all, comes in touch with an energy that is supremely active, that is supremely burning, you know. Cardinal fire and cardinal air, yeah. The ram and the Libra. So it's basically like the sheep and, you know, the only object of the zodiac. Libras balance Aries a lot. They tend to soften their words, soften the way they look. They tend to polish them up. You know, they are the ones that clean them up after they've been out fighting with everybody. They tend to speak for them in public gatherings because Aries are notoriously odd in putting their feelings into words. They like to express their feelings through their bodies, and other things you should keep in mind with Aries. So if an Aries loves you, they're gonna really want to make love to you over and over again to just express it. If an Aries hates you, then watch out. They're gonna be very violent about that. Okay, so you have to be very careful. They can get very, very dark very quick. But not in a Pluto kind of way where they stalk you for months and then they take their sweet revenge on you when you least expect it. I see you, Scorpios. I know what you're doing. No, they do it in a very like fast forward direct kind of way. It's like, you piss me off, you know, something like that. So you have to be very careful with that. They are just notoriously impulsive. I'm not saying that they're all like maniacs or killers, but the majority of them, especially if they had some childhood trauma that is unresolved or they're not taking good care of themselves, they tend to isolate themselves from society and they suffer from the lone wolf complex. So they build this incredibly strong body, but they have deeply unresolved emotional issues. So be careful with Aries that are of low vibing energy. Aries that are of high vibing energy are those people that are just starting up their own businesses left, right, and center. They are these people that are just developed the newest app. They are these people that just have started their own family and they live in a very eco-friendly commune. They are just pioneers at everything that they do, okay? Samuel Beckett, the one who wrote Waiting for Godot, was an Aries, for example. And so was... I'm having like a moment where I know of so many famous Aries artists, but sometimes my mind just goes blank. Anyway, I'll give you like the chore to actually, if you want to Google up Aries personalities and see who was born on the day. If you are born as an Aries sun sign, check out who was born on the same date as you, okay? I love to do this thing as well, because I'm born right on the cusp between Pisces and Aries. So it's really, really fun for me to actually check this out. Oh, Johann Sebastian Bach, for example, one of the greatest composers that we have in Europe, is also an Aries. Also William Blake, one of the greatest illustrators and poets in the British culture, is also an Aries. And with Librans, you have like so many Nobel Prize winners and so many poets. T.S. Eliot, for example, is a Libra. I mentioned E. Cummings earlier. They are just fantastic. They are just those intellectuals that just win every award and pass every test. Because as much as people perceive them as passive and sensitive and they tend to associate all these weird labels to Libras, because people think that if a person is agreeable and polite, that they can manipulate them as they want. That is a very wrong thing to think about Libras, because Libras are so incredibly intelligent that they can manipulate you even as they're smiling and looking at you with the best intentions. So you'll never know when you're being played by a Libra, but you'll just end up one day single, without money, without any prospects, and the Libra has run away with your whole group of friends, because guess what? They like them more than you do. So be very careful with that as well. Libras are very non-confrontational. They are passive aggressive. They are masters at being passive aggressive. But that's where their charm and sometimes their undoing lies, in the fact that they can just like Pisces, they can just so subtly play you. They can so subtly and softly play you that you end up enjoying it. You don't even realize what has happened to you or what has hit you up until the moment when you check your bank account, or you check your rent is overdue, or your kids all of a sudden are not living with you anymore. They've been sent to the grandmothers because, hello, you've been served, So, yeah, it's a very tough energy, but coated in a very brilliant light, okay? A lot of politicians are Aries or Libras as well. I know, for example, that I mentioned earlier Hitler, but it's really interesting because the person that sat through the Adolf Eichmann trials and wrote about them and wrote about the banality of evil is Hannah Arendt, okay, one of the greatest philosophers that we have. So she was fantastic because she's a Libra, and she was educated by Hegel, and she grew, you grew up knowing Nietzsche and so on and so forth. So all of those different relationships that she had, those intellectual relationships that she had, fed into her own style of writing and developing her theories. And her theory about the banality of evil, and how, for example, during the Second World War, people were committing atrocity just because they thought they were following orders, so they thought they wanted to please their superiors, is such a strong idea that has repercussions to how we live our everyday lives. And it inspired Stanley Milgram, therefore, to create his obedience theory test and so on and so forth. I'm not gonna get into my other hobby and love, which is sociological and psychological theories. But what I wanted to say with that, and I'm going to close the video here because I'm getting ridiculously intellectual, just like any Libra would. Keep in mind the masculine and feminine polarity, but a person that really has personal planets such as Libra and Aries in their chart and is able to integrate them will always maintain kind of like balancing these two sides, okay? So you can, even if you're a woman, you can have a very strong masculine energy, and usually Libra women have very strong masculine like attitudes. They're very feminine, but at the same time they could dress in a manly way just to counterbalance that, just to counterbalance their femininity. And Aries the same. They are very the men and the women, both of them, very strong. They're very body physical, they're very tattooed, or there's something wild and rebellious about them, something that cannot be put into a category and boxed in. But at the same time, they are such sweethearts in personal relationships, especially, they can just do anything for you. If you manage to get their heart and their attention, they are supremely loyal. They are those people that you can always call and they'll always be there for you. Even though you separated from them, you have 2 children and they're paying child support or something like that, they will still be there, okay? If you call them, they will still be there. To the madness of their current partners, So it's really, really wonderful, these two polarities, how they play out. I hope this video helped. I feel called to stop here. My hair has been like all over the place today. Sorry about that. If you don't like people playing with their hair in their videos, then I'm not the person you should be looking at. This is what we do here at the Spiritual Social. Anyway, guys, so let me know what you think down in the comments, whether you'd like me to expand on either Aries or Libra personalities. I think I have said most of the key elements, but obviously there is so much more to say, and I could share some personal examples from my experience. As I said, I'm a Libra ascendant with a Jupiter Aries, so am I familiar with those signs? Anyway, but let me know down in the comments, what are your star placements? What are your ascendants, sun, moons? What do you think? Do you agree or disagree with some of the things that were said in this video? Let me know. This is the last video of the duality series. I'm gonna try to create a new series for you guys, don't worry. I'm really, really happy to have delivered this series for you guys. I noticed that there are a lot of views on them and some likes and some comments and some shares. Please continue to do that so that the messages that I prepare for you guys in these videos can be sent out to other people. Yeah, and until next time, I wish you all love, light, and happiness. Take care, and see you next time.